Hey, have you noticed how easy it is to enter a new season carrying all the baggage from the old one? We change the calendar, we notice those days are getting longer, spring starts showing herself here again in New Zealand, thank goodness. Yet internally, we're still carrying winter. And I'm not talking about the extra comfort food or the fact that some of us have practically become one with the couch over the last few months. It's certainly been wet, lots of snow though, all huddled up in hibernation. I'm talking about the mental clutter, the emotional weight, the things we've been tolerating, the decisions we've been avoiding, and those little energy drains we've become so used to that we barely notice them anymore. So welcome to this month's Full Moon Insight bonus edition. As always, this isn't an astrology lesson, and I'm certainly not here to tell you what the moon is apparently going to make you do. I simply use the full moon once a month as a natural pause point, as a power moment, as an opportunity. There are gifts and challenges to every lunation, a moment to look at our lives, take stock, and perhaps notice something we've been too busy to see. And this August full moon feels particularly well timed because here in the southern hemisphere, we're right on the edge of spring, which means we have a choice. It's seasons. We can drag everything we've accumulated over winter into the next season, or we can clear some space. And here's the second thing I want to talk to you about. We are only about 3 months away from December. And I know, sorry, don't shoot the messenger, but seriously think about that for a moment. The final stretch of 2026 is almost here. And we know what happens. I know for myself. Life speeds up. Business speeds up. Social commitments appear like out of nowhere, right? Christmas starts lurking in the background and suddenly everyone is saying, where on earth did this year go? Time's flying. So perhaps this full moon isn't really about the moon at all. It could be perhaps our reminder to ask, what do I not want to carry into the final months of this year to create spaciousness? That's a question that's been sitting with me. Because we talk a lot about creating what we want, manifestation, calling things in, setting intentions, starting something new, or finishing projects. But I'm increasingly interested in the other side of that conversation. Do you actually have room for it? You can want the opportunity, the relationship, the next level of your business, taking an online course before December, for example, more money, more creativity, more freedom. Maybe Christmas is not something you celebrate greatly anymore, whatever it happens to be for you. But if your life is already packed to the rafters with things you've outgrown, where exactly is the new supposed to land? Sometimes that next chapter doesn't need more effort. That's like the old bro way of doing things. And as we shift and transition into the new world, the new earth, the new era, which is a complete shift after a 400-year era for the whole of humanity, it needs some open space, some empty space. That's what it's really calling us in for, that opportunity. And there's an interesting little extra in the sky this month too. This full moon coincides with a partial lunar eclipse globally. Here around Auckland, New Zealand, the actual partial phase happens before the moon rises. So what we'll see as she comes over the horizon is the more subtle, final, pre-numbral phase of the eclipse. And somehow I like that. And not everything significant arrives with flashing lights and a great, giant, cosmic announcement. Sometimes the shift is subtle. Sometimes you simply realize, I'm done with this. It's over now. And that is enough. This late winter full moon for the Southern Hemisphere offers us a really useful opportunity to take an honest look around, not only around your house, although frankly sometimes a good declutter works wonders, clearing that space. Look at what's taking up space in your head. What have you been thinking about for months that still hasn't been resolved, or you're putting it off? Next month I'll do that. I'll get that done before Christmas. No worries. Perhaps you're maintaining a commitment that made sense 6 months ago but doesn't anymore. Or maybe there's simply too much noise coming in. Distortions, confusion, too much scrolling, too many opinions, too many people telling us what we should think. Or we're allowing ourselves to be influenced by that, forgetting about our own unique inner authority and our outer authority, what we should want and what we should be doing next. No wonder we sometimes can't hear ourselves, or we don't take the time. And this is where I think we need to be more careful around full moons too. And that's why I said at the beginning, this is an invitation for a pause. Whatever that might mean to you, a walk in nature, celebrating the full moon with a little ritual, a nice long bath with candles. People often talk about heightened intuition. Maybe you do feel more intuitive around certain lunar phases. I know many people that do. And remember, we all have the sense or the ability to be intuitive. But there's an important distinction between intuition and emotional overwhelm. Not every strong feeling is guidance. Sometimes you're simply tired. Sometimes your nervous system has had enough. Sometimes you've consumed too much information and your brain is basically saying, could everyone please be quiet for 5 minutes, especially if you're bringing up a family. And that is why before making some enormous life decision, for example, because you had a revelation at 2 o'clock in the morning, perhaps sleep on it. Ground first. Journal. Share it with a trusted friend. Speak it out. Clarity usually doesn't need to scream. One of the simplest things you can do over this full moon weekend is actually very ordinary. Clear something. Wash your bedding. Open the windows. Clear your workspace, your desk. Delete some rubbish off your phone. Go through your drawers that you've been avoiding since 2019, perhaps. You don't have to ceremonially cleanse the entire house while chanting under the moonlight, unless, of course, that's your thing. Just create some movement, some intentionality. I find there's something incredibly satisfying about physically shifting stagnant stuff when I'm also ready for an internal reset. Everyone's different, but that's how it works for me. And then take 10 minutes with a notebook or a journal. Ask yourself, what am I ready to stop carrying? Don't overthink it. Perhaps it's an obligation, someone else's opinion of you, a habit that's draining you, an old version of yourself that you've been trying to keep alive long after you've outgrown her. Write whatever comes. Maybe it's little squiggles and symbols and little drawings. And once it's out of your head, decide whether there's one practical action, something practical that you can take. Not 17, not a big long list, 1, maximum 3. Perhaps you send that email you've been avoiding, cancel something, clear a cupboard, have the conversation, make that decision, or simply decide that you're no longer giving something your precious energy any longer. That's enough. And if you're feeling particularly wired or emotionally overloaded, forget doing more inner work altogether. Put the phone down, go outside, feel your feet on the ground. Take a few slow breaths, making your exhale slightly longer than your inhale. Let your body catch up with your mind. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is regulate your nervous system and go to bed. Sleep is incredibly healing, restorative, and a recalibration. It's not laziness. And there's your No Fluff Spirituality bonus edition full moon epi for the month. And perhaps that's the real invitation of this August full moon. Spring doesn't ask winter for permission to arrive. Nature simply begins moving again. There's a motion, there's an awakening, there's an ignition. The light changes, new growth appears, colours seem brighter, little buds start opening, and things that looked completely dormant weren't dead at all. They were preparing. Perhaps something in you has been doing exactly the same. You don't need to rush it. You certainly don't need to force some enormous reinvention before September. But you might want to make room for what's beginning to emerge within you, around you, within your environment, within your family, within your community, and rippling out. So if you want to make or create one sentence to take away from this episode, I have one to offer you. Let it be this: I am clearing space for what is actually meant for me. Let me repeat that. I am clearing space for what is actually meant for me. Not everything needs to come with you. Your peace does not have to be continually sacrificed simply because you've become very good at carrying a lot. So as we move out of winter here in New Zealand, obviously it's the reverse in the Northern Hemisphere, and towards spring, perhaps don't ask yourself what else you need to add. Ask yourself what you're finally ready to release and with unconditional love leave behind. Because sometimes the most powerful reset isn't becoming someone new. It's creating enough space for more of you to shine through, to come through, to be embraced, to be remembered. Thank you for joining me for this Power Drop Full Moon episode. If something's landed for you, share the episode with someone who perhaps also is ready to stop carrying winter into spring or may benefit from this episode. And wherever you're listening from in the world, simply take the seasonal metaphor that works for you. The deeper invitation is the same. Know when a season is complete and don't drag it into the next one. This is Basha Maya from No Fluff Spirituality, Business Life and Spirit in the New Era, grounded, clear, real. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.